You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Pretty Little Liars After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Pretty Little Liars After Show.
Hello, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another AfterBuzz TV show right here, recapping the finale. This is crazy, and I know you over there, sir, Pat Lambert, is very excited about this. This is the finale. We thought the finale was going to be last week, and we are doing an after show, binging it up, and you know, Mr. Pat Lambert over there.
What's up?
He is unbuttoning that top shirt, and I believe you'll be joined by a guest. But first, man, tell us how your busy week has been. You've been Mr. Dancing with the Stars, right?
You may see a battle wound. That is from a camera falling on my face this weekend. And we were busy at Dancing with the Stars last night, but I didn't go to bed till about 4 a.m. because I had to watch my TiVo'd Pretty Little Liars.
Awesome.
First, man, tell us.
I think we have a friend Skyping in.
We do. Megan, make sure you're not watching on AfterBuzzTV.com live, because we will get the feedback.
Okay.
Is she good? Megan?
I'm good. Hello.
You can see her on the screen.
I can see you on the screen.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. Now,
welcome, everyone.
Megan and I already talked about this A-Day thing this morning on my way to work. We had to.
But not in great detail because I was getting my hair done.
Right.
And I needed much more time to talk about it. And that's where today,
You look like Alison right now.
Oh my God, what a compliment.
Ew,
Great.
she's a bitch.
She's dead.
And Grace, unfortunately, our two other normal regular hosts can't be here tonight. Grace is at work. David is at a show, but they send all of their love and all of their thoughts. So let's get right into it. This was the biggest day I've been waiting for since birth.
This is the day every single Pretty Little Liar fan has been waiting for, and it has come, and I think it has delivered.
You think it's delivered because a lot of fans online don't think it has. There's
See,
a lot of backlash about, I mean, if you're watching this now, you know, A-Day, the big reveal, A was Mona! Bam! Bam! But Mona. So Mona is the A that we've been waiting for this entire 2 seasons.
It is so unreal because at first,
Is it unreal?
remember last after show, we didn't think this.
We have said for the last 4 weeks, we were sure it was Jenna.
I know.
And clearly, we'll talk about the episode, but Jenna is definitely a big shiesty part of this whole
Definitely.
brigade. But I think it's smart of the producers because they had kind of thrown us off the trail of Mona a long time ago when people said, oh, are you going to follow the books and it's going to be Mona? And they said, we're not following the books exactly, which all of us took to mean, oh, straight up, it's not Mona.
Literally,
We're all
the thing
dumb.
is, I was actually sitting in my room a few days ago. It was Friday, and I was sitting with 2 huge Pretty Little Liar fans, and they were like, we think it's Mona. And I'm like, you guys are wrong, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they're like, we sat back, we watched literally 5 episodes from season 1 where A came up or A texted them, and right after, Mona was there saying, hey girls, what's up? And
Oh, did you just get a message? Because she always wants to know. Mona, you're right. The big thing about Mona is she has always been there to see their reaction to when they get the message.
Yeah. She's like, that's actually really, I mean, not saying that everything else she did wasn't psycho,
Right.
but that's really psycho to see people's
totally.
reaction
And
of your manipulation.
Because of her access to Hannah, being that deep with the group of friends, she always basically knew when they were together.
Yeah.
When she had Hannah, she always knew where the other girls were because they were in constant contact with Hannah.
And we had taken a look back at the Halloween episode, and it was actually really funny because we're like, well, how would Mona know about, Byron, who's Aria's dad? And she was the one that was following Alison and Aria on their way back to school that one day, and Alison looked back and said, "Ew, Mona, get away!"
Oh
and they
my
see the
God!
car. Yeah.
I didn't even. But thing is, there's a million of those kind of things that
There's
she's done.
a million of those times.
She's always been around, and every time that she's around, someone goes, "Ugh, it's Mona." So, we, like she said,
and then
she
they
goes,
reveal a secret. Dumb people.
And she goes, "You've always thought I was too stupid to have pulled this off, but little did you know, I'm really intelligent."
Little did we know she's
psycho. What a freak. But why don't we go back through the episode a little bit, and we'll give our reactions as we kind of go through. So the show started with they get invited. Oh no, that was later. The first thing that starts is the four of them are together, and Melissa comes out, and there's that awkward scene where she takes Aria's ice cream. I get you're pregnant, but that's not your ice cream.
It was just so it made me get chilled. I was like, oh, Melissa just makes me want to kill.
And it was a great way of the show being like, oh, could it be Melissa? Do you think it's Melissa? Let's make it Melissa. Because all the girls have kind of decided we think it's Melissa. But
yeah, and they all said, I think right before Melissa had come into the room, they were like, oh, well, it could be blah, 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 and Melissa. And then Melissa's like, hey, guys. And I'm like,
hey, guys, this is my baby. Give me your ice cream. By the way, I'm such a creep, and I killed Alison. Love you. Bye. And they were all like, I'm scared. But,
I know.
What is... Okay, here's the thing. Melissa has to be a part of this whole A-team.
She definitely has to be a part of it. I mean, I don't want to get too much into the episode. Well, we could talk about what I'm about to say
later, but I definitely think that Melissa was some sort of it. But then she said, if it was Garrett, he probably did it because he probably had a good reason to kill Alison. Remember?
That's
who says that?
That's a very, very
who says
heavy statement. That's definitely a heavy statement.
Exactly.
Because there's not really a good reason to kill someone.
Right. And it's not really a normal thing to say, well, she probably had a good reason, aka I wanted her dead too, aka I killed her.
Right.
And then they get invited to the masquerade ball, which was a high budget prom. I mean, come on. What was that?
Definitely very, very nice.
Definitely very nice. I don't know what public school has such an extravagant masquerade ball. And how they found their masquerade ball dresses within 4 hours.
Literally within about a 6-hour period.
Although Aria's was disgusting. That was an ugly, ugly dress.
I don't quite remember the dress, but I'm sure I'll take your fashion advice, Pat, and go with what you say.
It was the red and black one, and she looked disgusting. Hannah looked kind of cute. Emily's didn't fit her. I'm just saying.
I didn't notice the dresses.
You were too enthralled in what was happening? I thought Spencer looked really cute.
I was so enthralled in the action.
Okay, blah, 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 kill yourself. Allison. So I get invited to the ball, and Aya says, be there by midnight. You have my phone. Give it back. Blah, blah, blah. So then they have followed this hint about the Lost Woods Resort.
Yeah.
Remember? And they have this postcard, and it's ripped, and they can't really figure out where this place is. So finally, they get to this hotel, and they think Alison checked into this hotel the day that she died, or the day before she died.
Right.
And Duncan's whole story about how he had flown her somewhere in advance, and there was that window of time where she was missing, and they don't really know what happened, but we know it was in that town. We're finally revealing, okay, this is where it happened. So they pull up to Lost Woods Resort, the creepiest place in the world, pull out the postcard, and they see that it matches the postcard that was in Alison's stuff. Because as Spencer's kind of going through her stuff, it's revealed that Aria and Azria had sex, or something sacred.
Yeah, which wasn't a surprise because you could definitely tell.
But a cute scene. So when they were trifling through their things, they figured out they should go to this place.
Yeah.
They arrive.
The creepiest place.
Man.
Everything about this.
Who was this dude?
I don't know, but let me just tell you, everyone that's watching, I am the most frightened person by any type of movie, TV show. I was flipping out.
Megan
and I can't watch it
Megan and
anymore.
I can't get through Law and Order SVU episodes. She is that scared of things on TV. She's petrified.
But then I stuck it out because it was so creepy, but so entertaining.
And it's ABC Family, so if you couldn't handle their scary movie, I
had trouble watching The Bucket List.
The Bucket List, everyone. A new American thriller starring 80-year-old guys jumping out of planes.
Whatever.
Okay, well, bucket list, get it on your thriller. So they get there, and the creepiest man in the entire world works there, who has clearly been raised by wolves. Socially retarded wolves.
And it was so weird because I don't know why he was so upfront, and well, maybe because he doesn't have any friends or doesn't talk to anyone, but he was like, no one has come here in years, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why do you just tell people this? That doesn't make people want to stay there.
Right. They're not like, oh, great. Well, I'm going to come back. Well, how's next weekend? And he was like, I talk to the animals. My stuffed dead animals. And I was like, okay, this is pre-rape kind of talk. This is creepy.
Definitely.
Definitely pre-rape. So they decide that they're going to check into
room one.
Room 1 where Alison had apparently stayed.
Yes.
They're going to go through the room and try to figure out why she was there. Was anything left? So they get in the room. They can't really figure out anything in the room when they get there. So
oh my God. It's so scary.
Okay,
then all of a sudden.
Okay, what? Go.
Okay. You see the black hood. You see, Hannah.
The picture comes off the wall. The picture comes off the wall. The picture comes off the wall, and it's revealed.
The picture comes off the wall, and let me just say, I always hate it. It's such a bad sign when people are like, "Let's split up. It's gonna be a great idea."
It's the number one rule.
Idea.
The number one rule in horror movies is you never say "I'll be right back" because you never come back.
Never. I mean, although all of them ended up coming back.
Right, but not happier. So,
but what was A doing in the bathroom with Hannah? What was the purpose of being there in the bathroom? Just to scare us?
That's what I was thinking too. Well, I think that they want that Mona did want to scare Hannah in some way because Hannah got out of the shower and then found out that the door had been open and that A had been stalking them.
Yep.
A loves to just give that mood that, they're constantly being followed. Because they didn't think that they had been followed there. They didn't know that they were being spied on until that moment when Hannah comes out of the shower. But meanwhile, Spencer and Aria, or Sparia as they are called, sneak into the office of the place and they look through the books and find out that Alison had actually checked in.
Right.
She checked into room 1, but we don't really know too much more than that.
Yeah, and the guy was also, the creepy guy was also being sketchy about the fact that Vivian Blackbloom or whatever her name is, had stayed there. He was like, I don't know anything about that.
It was under the name Vivian, not Alison. Sorry, I misspoke.
Yeah, but it was just creepy. It was still very sketchy.
Yeah. So then the next morning they say, let's get out of here before they realize that things are missing. Right? So they peace out. And then they have to get ready for this party. But big scene happened. Oh, big thing that we're missing is Emily gets a call from Maya, but she doesn't have reception to get it.
Yeah, and I was wondering, that actually, well, I can't say, I'd rather talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll get to the, well, I mean, they watched the episode Maya's death at the end.
That's true. So, but it's just so weird, the fact that.
Well, we've had this theory running that is it really Maya? And we're going to get the best theory about Maya at the end. The best. Megan has an amazing theory about Maya, which I love.
Though I didn't like it.
Well, I think I found things that I think make it wrong, but I still think it's exciting. But so we get this call from Maya. They leave in the next morning and they're getting ready to go to this ball. Side scene, Jenna takes off her glasses, is walking, clearly is not blind anymore.
Wait, she was driving.
She was driving. That's a pretty clear indication that you're also not blind,
and it's also a pretty clear indication that maybe she hadn't been blind at all because that was a very fast recovery if you're driving.
Thing. I can't really understand, and I don't know if any of you can tweet in or call in or write a comment, but I don't know.
They we could definitely get phone calls and they could tweet us all the same. Hey, and Pat, I wanted to give a mention real quick. You and Megan are doing a great show, as you know.
What's that?
And I also wanted to talk about our iTunes page. We always encourage people to go on our iTunes page, hit us up, rate our page, and also put some comments. Pat is working hard, to give you the best Pretty Little Liars. Aren't you, Pat?
Stop it.
And we also got Megan checking us out from, where'd you say, Boston?
Boston.
She's doing her thing.
She's actually inside of a Shark Tank.
That's the truth. Make sure you guys rate our iTunes page. That's all we ask of you. We work really hard for you, so please do us that favor. and hit us up. And
you all always, it's amazing. Every week, somebody corrects us on something that we've said. And it's becoming actually much more helpful because I can't research everything. Y'all.
Well, it's not only that. It's like a community. This is Pretty Little
awesome.
Liars fans.
But
you
what
know?
I need you guys to get to me is, we need to know is, was Jenna always faking the blindness? Or was she must have actually been blind and cured, right? Because a lot of people were writing there, have a theory that Jenna was never blind, but she had to have gone blind. And I do think the surgery just worked, right?
Right. Well, I was also thinking the one thing that she said to the anonymous person at like the park or whatever.
I've been waiting to see you for so long.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if that was like
so she must
a
have
literal thing, like view them with your eyes type of see, or like you haven't encountered this person in a while. Do you know what I mean?
I think that we should go. I think what the most logical is that Jenna's surgery did work. When she cries in the mirror, it's because a mixed emotion. She knows that she can see now, but she has to keep up the act that she's still blind, which is brilliant and twisted and bitchy. And then when she sees this person, you know, the last time that she saw that person was in the flesh with her eyes before she was blind. Back in the days when Alison was still alive, and maybe
and
Alison's
I have
twin
theories
sister.
to who that might be.
We can, and maybe Alison's twin sister. We're just teasing.
Okay, I told you this already.
I know,
but
we're gonna get to that after. So Jenna has that moment and she says, "You know what you need to do." So we're at the point where the masquerade ball is that night, and some sort of plan is in action. Jenna's a part of this plan, and other people are revealed. Yeah. Other people are revealed in it too. So we get to the ball. We get to the ball eventually. Some things happen. Hannah sees Caleb. So all the girls in the beginning of the episode had turned Mona down. Like, clearly, they were like, haha, we're not shopping with you, bye. All of them were like, hashtag bye, don't care about it.
And you notice it was right after they got the text from A saying, like, I forget what that text said, but it was the second the text was sent, they read it, they said, we need to reconvene after this.
Right.
And then Mona comes hopping on over, and I was like, clear indication.
Well, I don't think you were thinking that at the time.
Definitely, well, because I'd already had that.
Well, that was at the beginning of the episode, and it was a great teaser to think, oh, could Mona be A? Because they all shut her down, and you're kind of like, oh, wow, I feel bad for Mona. No one ever hangs out with her. I don't feel bad for her. She's psycho. No one should hang out with her.
Psycho.
If you have friends like Mona, don't
get rid of them.
Don't have
actually don't get rid of them because then they'll try
come
to
after you, and they'll get rid of you physically. They'll kill you. That's the one I meant physically. So then we get to the ball. Hannah sees Caleb, and Caleb's like, oh, Mona helped me, get ready to come. And Mona's like, ha, I'm the best friend ever. Love you. Bye.
I know.
So they go off, and then Aria and Ezra comes out at the ball, and it's the first hashtag Ezra goes public was a trending topic on Twitter.
And did you know Pretty Little Liars last night had 8 trending topics at one time?
Which is amazing because they were really big show. We're going to get to the ratings a little later, but
yeah,
thank you all for tweeting. I loved when it was Jenna is A last episode. I was like, yes, I agree. But I was wrong. So Ezra finally goes public, and for all the Ezra fans, it was a great day. Then Emily gets pulled aside by Paige, who's in Amanda.
Which is like, I'm like, good. I'm not a fan of Paige, only because.
No, but I think this was the cutest Paige has ever looked. I thought Paige looked very cute there. No?
Yeah. No, not for me.
I thought she was cute. And Paige says, well, like, I want to be your friend now. Now, again, we never know who we can trust in this show. So we have a theory that maybe Paige killed Maya. More to come on that. But most importantly, Mona pulls Spencer aside and tells this story, which is fake, I guess, about how the day that Alison had died, she had seen her in that town. I'm forgetting the town's name. And she had said...
Oh.
Nope. The town that this girl apparently, that Alison Vivian went to. And in the scene, Mona's saying she wants to be popular, and she's that Alison, as Vivian, was stalking someone, was following someone. And Spencer has the realization A wasn't following Vivian. Vivian was following A.
Right.
To figure out who A was. So then she thinks, oh my God, we have to go back to the Lost Woods Resort. I think that in room number 2, that might be where A lives.
Yeah,
That's why
because the
Vivian
theory
went to
behind
room
that was
one.
the fact that she had remembered seeing that room number 2 hadn't been booked out for like years.
Which meant that it wasn't booked out, it was that it was currently and always had been rented. So that
Yeah.
was A's lair. So they speed off.
A's Lair. Isn't that such a like
This
oh my God, that's great.
this whole thing got really scary and creepy towards the end. Like when we
Def-
got to A's lair, that's when the whole show shifted.
I mean,
and-
like I thought it was creepy the whole time because I'm scared.
When
of
Mona put on the hood, though, that's when it was like, wow, this is like psycho thriller.
Definitely.
And it's awesome. So that's where Spencer and them go. Now, what happens in the meantime? So back at the party, we notice that there's a Black Swan character who comes in,
Right.
who's suspicious.
Tall, very skinny,
Very pretty.
brown, brunette.
Couldn't be Melissa unless Melissa is not actually pregnant, which is possible because sometimes blind girls aren't actually blind.
True.
So maybe it's not real, maybe there's no baby. So that happens, and then they see that the suspicious crew is talking to Lucas.
Now, Lucas, I had
And we see that Jenna's
had that very big theory that it was Mona that I just came up with on Friday because I was like talking with my friends.
right.
I thought it was gonna be Lucas. I don't know why. I heard he was coming back this episode, so like
I knew
the
that he
fact
was
he's part of this clan
right.
made me be like, knew it. I knew something was up.
I knew something was up with him, but I really, and I don't know if he still is really part of the A group, because that seems like a lot of tag teaming on poor little Hannah. To have to
Well,
her
what
two
I
only.
think is that I couldn't believe how much Mona was still mad about the fact that Hannah was like unpopular
theory.
with Mona, and that unpopular crew was so like meaningful to Mona for some reason, and the fact that like
Yeah.
Lucas was still like, I don't know, it could definitely still be a possibility,
Part of me
although we
thinks
may
that's-
not think it
Although
says.
I definitely have a theory that Caleb is in this A group.
What?
Totally. Caleb
No.
was with Mona. Caleb did that scene with Mona in the car.
Caleb lived with Lucas for a little while.
Caleb lived with Lucas. Caleb had access to Hannah's phone, to the computers, to the videos, to all that stuff.
But he was so surprised when he had saw like why would he keep revealing information to them?
I don't know. I think, well, look at Mona. Mona set up a lot of situations. Caleb could have been
Also,
setting up
A
situations.
was getting very pissed off at Caleb because he kept revealing all of these things from the phone, from the files. So like if he was part of that,
I don't know. I'm suspicious, which is why the show is brilliant, because I'm suspicious of everyone.
Yeah.
And clearly my whole season I have not ever been right about A. So I suck. But so then, okay, so Spencer and Mona show up to A's lair, and holy creepy shit. They see pictures everywhere of Alison, of the death, there's the diaries, there's the dolls. I mean, it is the creepiest.
most creep. It's literally what you think of when you think of,
A psycho.
hey, a psychotic killer.
Literally. It is the creepiest place. And we've always wondered, because we see all these shots of A snooping around and stealing things, or A cutting things and putting them together. And you're always like, where's A's based out of? Like, there must be some sort of place that A goes and collects these things.
And do you know what? I almost...
And this
I
is
feel
when
like
you
we
know
still
it's
can't
Mona.
uncount Jason when looking at the room, because Jason was the one taking all those creepy pictures of all of them. And there was a bunch of candid shots of them. Like, I don't think we can discount Jason as part of this whole plan.
I think, well, we have a theory about who is the leader of the A team. And if our theory about the leader of the A team is right, then Jason may have an ulterior motive. Think about
True. Oh my God, so true.
Totally true, right? Oh my God, we're gonna get to it. Oh my God. Hashtag oh my God. So in that moment, she realizes the Black Swan outfit Mona pulls out. But first, she opens Vivian's or Alison's diary and sees that there's a gum wrapper spearmint that was used to keep it open. And Mona had just offered her spearmint gum.
Right.
This was sort of, maybe this was Mona's sort of like, I think Mona, because psychos love this, is sort of trying to tease. She wants to enjoy that moment when Spencer realizes it's her. So I think that was kind of the gum thing.
And
the gum thing was such a deliberate setup to be like, I hope you know how in danger you really are right now.
Right. And now wait, did Mona ask
she asks Spencer if she wanted a piece of gum and puts the gum out. That's where we see the spearmint. Then Spencer opens the book and sees that, and then Spencer goes, "Oh, I just saw that spearmint with you. Can I see your gum again?" She goes, "Oh, I just ran out. Gonna go in the car." Part of me actually thought when she put the gum in her mouth that it was gonna be poisoned and Mona was gonna die.
Oh, that's.
I don't know. In that moment, I don't know why I thought that. I don't know why. So Mona goes to the car and changes out of her masquerade ball, comes back, scariest reveal of the whole thing, and this is when we realize Mona is A.
This is when we realize Mona is A, because Spencer is there and she turns around and she goes, "You didn't call Hannah, did you?" And she goes,
"No."
And then Spencer turns around and she goes, "Because you're A." And she goes, "You got it right, Spencer."
I literally just got chills as you said that. That was the only thing that ruined this scene is when Mona knocks out Spencer.
I thought she knifed her.
I thought she hit her in the face with like one of those gel sandals. I was like, that's not gonna knock. It was like this little dance shoe that she hit her with.
The 90s?
Yeah, I remember those gel shoes. It looked like a black one. It looked like a little cheap little sandal that she like smacked her in the face. And Spencer's like, ow. None of these actors took stage combat for this because Hannah's the scene at the Lost Woods Resort where she falls in the mud. She's like, "Oh, whoops."
Literally, I was watching this with a bunch of acting majors at my school, and they were all like, "Please."
That is not stage combat. But anyway, so Spencer gets knocked out. Oh my God, such a scary scene.
She wakes up.
Comes to
being in Mona's car, going so fast.
And Mona reveals it's been her the whole time, and somehow Spencer with her phone is able to like video record it and call in to the girls who get to see the video and all realize that it's Mona, and Hannah has, a bit of a meltdown there.
Right. And meanwhile, when they get the call, they actually realize the Pretty Little Liars that are at the masquerade ball. They realize that the phone that Mona had given Hannah had been recording like the entire time.
Oh, that's right. So really the reason Mona had given it to her was to stalk her more intensely. Wow, this
so
is the
creepy.
Scariest world. So Mona says in the car, Spencer, you have two options. Either you can join the A team or you can die because I stole your dad's gun and I'm going to shoot you. Which is where Mona's revealing there's a whole team. And I wonder why she says, "Spencer, you can join our team." Like, what would she have done with Spencer?
Well, I think Spencer had the most connections in terms of like Melissa and Garrett. So it would have made sense that.
But did Mona hate Spencer the least out of the whole group?
No, what she said to her was, she said, "Spencer, I admire you." One thing that ABC Family revealed to us through Good Morning America was they said, A is four things. A loathes one of the Pretty Little Liars more than the others. A admires one of the Pretty Little Liars more than the others. A wants a playmate, and A has a valid reason for committing the A act.
A just sounds crazy to me. I don't know.
A is crazy.
And I thought A was Jenna because Pat always put up a good fight that Jenna was A.
Well, Jenna is nowhere near free. Jenna, it's clearly revealed, is on this A team.
Definitely.
So she's like not A. She's not the one sending the text messages because it takes longer in Braille. But she's definitely shiesty bitchin' and she's evil. Which all of us knew from the beginning anyways. But where are we? Oh my God, I loved that. So she looked up to Spencer.
Right now,
so
we're actually when they took the call, it turns to the girls at the ball and Hannah's phone, and then it shows the people that are at the ball that are revealed kind of to be huddling up as if they were a part of this A team that Mona had just mentioned.
Yep, and Lucas, they're like, "Oh my God, what's Lucas doing over there?" And they chase after the Black Swan but can't catch her. And then they see in the video where
and the Black Swan was the one, just for people that it was in A's Lair as like this dress.
Right, that was designed. When really it's just that Black Swan probably is part of the A team though.
Yeah.
I mean, or we could suspect that I guess she did run away from the girl, so she must have been doing something shiesty. Wherever this girl is in the black dress, which we have a theory. So the girls then finally chase after Mona and Spencer. We get up to the top of the mountain, and Hannah almost kills Mona. Because
Spencer kills Mona.
No, Hannah's the one driving.
Oh, Hannah almost drives car into Mona.
I think you're getting a phone call, so you should deny it. I can see it on your Skype. Love you. Incoming call? Or is someone calling us?
That's for us, big man.
Oh, hey,
Shall we
calling
take
us.
it?
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
All right, let's do another call while you guys are talking.
We are just at the climax of the whole thing, too, so.
All right.
Oh.
Hello, Pretty Little Liars, AfterBuzz, after show. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Susie.
Hi,
How are
Susie.
you guys?
Awesome.
Susie, are you the same
Wonderful.
Susie that
How
calls
are you?
Gossip Girl?
Yes, I am.
I know the voice.
Hey, Suze, what's up?
Hi, not much. I'm just like still getting over this episode. Like, oh my god, I just like couldn't wait all day yesterday.
I was
To
crying.
watch it.
Wait, Suze,
Now,
wait.
what was your theory? Who did you think was A?
I honestly didn't know. It was between Melissa and Jenna, probably.
Amen, sister. That is so right, but we're wrong. But that was so right.
I know, exactly. I knew it was Mona in the books, even though I don't read the books, but I didn't know that they were. I didn't hear that they were going to do something different for the books or whatever.
Same here.
But
That was my only theory as to why I was thinking against Mona, because everyone was like, they're not going to follow the books.
Exactly.
They're not going to do that.
All right, so then, Susie, I have a few questions for you.
okay.
Okay, so when it was revealed that it was Mona, how did you feel?
Shocked, but also not really.
Were you Were you disappointed or excited?
I mean, probably more excited because I haven't read the books, so
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know anything else that's going to happen or whatever. So I'm excited to see what happens, and knowing that it's like more than one person, obviously, that makes it more like.
Definitely.
Susie, we're getting a little feedback from you. Where are you at?
What?
I'm getting a little feedback from you, just FYI, okay? So let's make sure your reception's as good as it can get. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just stepped out of the thing.
All right, so Susie, who do you think is on the A team?
Jenna.
Definitely.
Melissa.
Bitch, please, totally.
Ian.
You think Ian's on? Oh, Ian died, so I guess. Okay, he kind of counts.
Oh no, and that. Ian. I forget. No, Garrett. I mean Garrett. I get Garrett and Ian confused.
You think Garrett's on it? You think Garrett, who's in prison right now, was on the team, and is he just taking the fall? Is this all an act because he works at the police station? So Jenna setting him up to go to prison. They know it's not actually going to ever pan out.
I know that's what I'm confused about.
Is Garrett just a stupid kid and Melissa's using her baby sex appeal to bring him in and trick him into the police stations as a pawn, or is he part of the plan? What do we think?
Maybe he's part of the plan.
Because part of me thinks that, we can't trust that group that we saw in the video. Because the group that we saw in the video, who is it? It's Melissa, Garrett, Jenna, and then who's the fourth person?
Wait, what video?
Was it Ian?
Oh,
The video that was in Alison's bedroom.
Ian.
Was it Ian?
It was Ian. So part of me thinks that it can't be that whole group together because it's already been revealed that that's the group.
Well, also, if Garrett was really on the A team, and so was Jenna, why would Jenna kind of admit to Toby like, "Hey, what is this report that Garrett gave me?"
Well, part of me thinks that there's two options. Either Garrett knew about the whole plot, like this was part of the whole plot, because he works at the police station. So if Jenna and them are all on the A team and it's set up for that he goes to jail for stealing this thing, maybe it's all just an act to kind of wash him out as a suspect.
Yeah.
Or he could be innocent and just sadly somehow in this web of lies and actually be going in for a crime he didn't commit.
They were talking about, at one point, the girls were talking about the page 5 of the autopsy.
Right.
So Jenna had it. Remember, Garrett gave it to Mona.
Right.
So I think Jenna like turned it into the police or something, getting Garrett in trouble.
She did. Well, Garrett gave it to Jenna, and like they were like fake in love, and then Jenna gave it to Toby, faking her blindness, so that Toby would take it to the police, so that Garrett was all set up. So it looked like Jenna had set up Garrett. The theory is either she did set him up, or he was in on the plan, and the whole police setup is another scheme to get rid of the suspects. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Why would they put Garrett in jail, though?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I guess, you know, I mean, we're going to have to find out in season 3 if he's part of this group or if the group took advantage of him and sent him to jail, you know, as a way to distract the police from the actual guilty ones. So let's get to more questions, though. We were just talking about Mona almost gets hit by the car, falls off the cliff, doesn't die. Big, huge thing at the end. 2 biggest reveals. Maya is dead in Emily's backyard, and they find Maya's body. And then Mona, who's in the crazy ward because she's actually has a split personality or something crazy, talks to this hooded character, this person in red, and says, I just got chills, and says, I did everything that you asked. So we find out that there's somebody who was the captain of the A-team. And remember that the way the episode ended, we see that it's a red jacket or coat in the last shot, and then the whole frame goes red before they do the credits. What does the red mean? We had the red jacket, we had Alison's red lips. What is this red thing?
Part of me thinks Alison isn't dead.
Me too. I think that Alison is alive and that her twin sister or whatever the books kind of throw in is the one that was killed.
Allison is not alive because they dug up the bones. They dug up the body.
But could it have been her twin sister that they dug?
If it was their twin sister, they would have had to. I mean, if Mary Kate died, you know, and Ashley was still alive, and then they dug up some bones, they would test the bones to be sure that it wasn't the other.
Identical twins have the exact same DNA.
So they have the exact same bones too? They have the exact same DNA?
They always say,
oh my God.
The perfect case is identical twins because you'll never know.
But I don't think Alison is, unless, that is twisted as hell.
Yeah.
If Alison is the one who's actually still alive.
And her sister was the one that was killed.
I don't know. Part of me wow.
I bet that's it.
That's it. What a day. Woo! Oh my, I'm so excited.
And then Pat and I's theory, which is really my theory that he took upon himself to acknowledge too, is that Maya actually came to Rosewood as some type of private investigator or private detective for Jason.
What do you think of that, Sis?
That Maya was part of what?
That Maya was Maya was a detective. Because we see that scene where she's talking to Jason. Megan had the theory that the reason that Jason lets Maya and her family, who we never ever see, move into Alison's old house is to investigate the house and try to find more clues for Alison's.
And do you notice the day that Maya moves in is the day that they find the body? It's the day that, you know, Maya starts questioning Emily, like, what is your group of friends like? Tell me more about this girl, Alison, blah, blah, blah. It's almost like she's interrogating her to a point where she wants to find out something.
And when Maya...
the A-team killed Maya,
yes,
maybe?
And that's why I think Jason is on the A-team. Because Jason wanted to get this detective to get involved to get more information about the girls. Because think about it, Maya's would be giving information to Jason about these girls. And then who was Maya getting in that car with when she didn't get on the bus? Was she getting in with the detective crew? Like, was her, you know, when she disappears to go into like marijuana boot camp or whatever? Is that her just Is that her just going back to the precinct and talking through the case? You know?
Probably.
Because I think maybe it was Jason who Maya went to talk to when she went to the bus station. And Jason, because she would have trusted to get in the car with Jason because he had hired her and stuff and was paying her. Jason then would have abducted her, taken her away, had access to her phone, so could have kept texting and calling Emily. You know. And then they would have...
I wasn't positive it was Jason that killed her.
This is a new theory that I have. I don't think Jason was maybe the one who killed her, but I do think that maybe Jason was behind the whole setup of how she died. I think the A-team definitely killed Maya, and I don't think the theory that she was an undercover detective is so bad.
Hey, Susie? Do you have any final thoughts on the episode? Because we're gonna run to commercial in just 1 second, so we're gonna we wanted to wrap you up and give us your final thoughts on this finale.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I thought it was a little much that they like also killed Maya as well as revealing A. I just thought it was just a double shocker. But I don't know. But overall, it was a great episode. I'm so excited for it.
So wait, one last question. Who do you think Mona was talking to in that last shot?
Oh, well.
Any clue?
Part of me thinks it was like Allie, or Allie's twin or something. I mean, I don't know who it could be. Jenna? Like, I don't know.
All right, we're gonna go with the maybe Allie's still alive.
Yeah.
But let's thank you, Suze, for calling. Susie, calling you Suze.
Bye.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much.
All right,
bye, guys. Talk to you next season.
Bye. And we'll talk about what it is. We're going to go to commercial and we'll be back in a little bit. Or no. Oh, we're going to wrap it up. So, all right. I really love the theory that we have about who, this could have been.
Definitely.
And I think that maybe it was Alison, because Alison had that red jacket. Lolita font is in red.
Vivian had that red jacket. Oh my goodness. It all makes sense. That's what I say.
Because that last frame, because they make such a big deal about the bright red jacket. You see that someone's wearing something that's bright red who's talking to Mona, and then the screen flashes bright red. Because I remember thinking, that has to be a huge clue. That has to be a big theme. Like, this red thing has to be big.
And you know what? I have to tell people, I would suggest going back to the Halloween episode. I know this seems totally random, but look through the episode and you notice so many different things that could actually come into like...
we sort of have to recommend that people go all the way back through,
True.
And you can totally enjoy Mona.
Episode, you see Mona go up to Alison when she's like in her Halloween costume, and Alison and Mona goes like this. She said something like, "Hey, nice outfit," and Alison goes, "Do I know you?" And then Mona looks at her and she goes, "You will," and she leaves. And then her and Jenna reconvene and go, "Hi, I'm Jenna. Hi, I'm Mona. Let's be friends."
Oh.
And then they say how much they hate Alison.
My God.
Pat and Megan, let's get your final thoughts on the episode. We'll jump to commercial now,
okay,
and then we'll wrap everything up.
Because we have predictions and we do have some news. So
you do.
Just keep me on time. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump to commercial.
Okay.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about? AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so let's get to some news. We have lots of people tweeting in, so I want to read some of those. But last night's finale was one of the highest rated, the highest rated episodes for Pretty Little Liars. It drew in 3.7 million people, and it was up against Dancing with the Stars, The Voice, Two Broke Girls, How I Met Your Mother, and House. So really huge network shows, but it made a huge splash. So, big news. Fans were left waiting. A lot of people were very upset about the fact that Mona had been A because it followed the books, and they thought they would get something different. So some people were really let down and had some intense tweets about it. Janelle Parrish, who plays Mona, released today in an interview that she has been upped to a series regular in season 3. So we will be seeing her every single, if not every other single episode of season 3.
Wow,
And
that's surprising.
Ian Harding, who plays Ezra in an interview today, they were talking about favorite A moments, and Ezra was saying, Ian was saying, his favorite moment is that episode where Hannah is in the lunch line, and she picks up one of the cereal boxes and pours it in, and it's all A's inside of the cereal box. And he said that that was when he first realized that this A person was someone that they really had to be very scared of, because they would have had to plan that so meticulously to have picked out all the A's, placed it there. He was very impressed. And in other news, Janelle gave an interview to TV Line, and they asked her all the questions that we wanted to know. They asked, how did it feel when you finally found out that you were playing A? She found out about a week before they went into taping. She said it felt very surreal, but it was an honor to play such an intense, important character to the story, so I just embraced it and loved every minute of filming it. When they were up shooting, Marlena King, who created the series, actually burst into tears when she saw Mona come onto set the first time wearing the A outfit with the hoodie on. So this was this was a huge episode for the cast and crew because they really didn't know where this was going to go. And the other thing is Janelle, who plays Mona, knows who the hospital visitor is. So it is revealed to the cast. They do know who this ringleader of the A team is for season 3. But season 3, they've teased, is really going to be all about figuring out whose stories line up, who Mona was connected to, and who could possibly make up this A team, and it'll have another really big reveal for its finale. And it is set to premiere on Tuesday, June 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the news and gossip for Pretty Little Liars. So finally, let's do a quick wrap-up and some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So I think the biggest questions for us are, who killed Maya, who is on the A team, and who was Mona talking to? So first, who killed Maya?
Okay, I have to say that I think Melissa had something to do with it, only because she was so close to the accident. I think it could have been Jason too.
I'm going to go with Jason theory on this one because I like the idea that, he was essentially, out of the whole group, the closest one to Maya. But then I wonder, what did Maya really get information-wise out of Emily? Because Emily gets, has a very tortured story, but who out of all the other characters has the most investment in Emily? And it would be Paige. If anyone stood to gain the most by killing Maya, it would have been Paige.
I don't think that storyline is strong enough, though, because I don't think that...
I think you should definitely... I think we have to kind of keep in mind, and maybe it was set up because Paige has that scene in the last episode where she says that she loves Emily, that Emily, maybe in season 3 will say, well, Paige kind of has been creepy, and maybe Paige will become suspect number 1. But I want to say that it's probably either Jason or Paige, but I'm always wrong, so God forbid me.
Yeah.
A team, we know Jenna's on it.
Yeah. Actually, if you don't know that.
We definitely do, because Jenna talked to somebody and says, you know what to do. And a few people who tweeted in said they think that what she was doing there was giving Mona or whoever the murder weapon. The gun.
Maybe, but I don't think she's on the A team.
Because
the A team didn't have to kill Maya. It could have been other people.
Oh, we're not on killing Maya. We're who's on the A team. The A team maybe didn't have to kill Maya. We think they probably killed Maya. Someone in that team did. I don't think
Jenna is on the A team, and I don't know why. I don't think so.
Jenna has to be on the A team. Why would she have lied to those girls? Why would she have faked the blindness?
Because she just hates them anyways. I think there may be another...
Why would she have that Oscar-winning performance where she wanted to convince them that she was still blind, then go behind their backs and be so happy to give this person and say, you know what you need to do. She wasn't saying it like, you know what you need to do? Make sure to bake it at 350, and then when the brownies are warm, she was like, you know what you need to do? Kill someone.
Right. I don't know.
Jenna's in it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Melissa's probably in it. Garrett, we don't know. Jason, we don't know. Toby at the end. We didn't even talk about Toby. Toby is in love with Spencer, so Toby, I think, is safe. And
I
Caleb
think
is
safe.
But I don't know. And then the last thing is, who was talking to Mona? Who's the girl in red? And I love our theory.
I definitely think it's Vivian or one of the people.
Right, because part of me thinks, this twin sister thing, which has really been a very subdued story. And I don't know if this show has given us enough clues to believe.
You got me off track, but the Halloween episode, what I was going to say was that in the beginning of that episode, they show this flashback of the theory. Alison is telling one of Hannah's little cousins or whatever the story about twins.
Right.
These two blonde twins were in this kitchen, very, very young, and one of them pulls out a knife on the other one, and Alison is trying to scare this little boy, but the story still comes up, and that's also the story that they give in the books about the theory behind, like, the revengeful twin sister and how she was sent to this mental hospital. That plot line comes up in the TV series.
And remember that Mona goes into a mental hospital and only has one visitor. It's not family or friends.
Right.
Maybe it's somebody who's been to that crazy place before. Who's been to Lonely Bin.
So
I mean,
true.
I think it's really either got to be this twin sister or Alison in the flesh, and the twin sister was the actual one who died.
Also, the fact that
we're
they
about
say
to
that
wrap it
Mona's
up.
going to be
Wrap
a
it
regular
up. So last
character.
theory. Yeah, wrap it up. So last theory.
Okay, I'm done. I'm good.
Okay. So I guess we won't find out more but pretty soon. The premiere is June 5th, so it's only a few months away. So thank you, Megan. Thank you, everyone, for watching this season,
Thank you,
tweeting this season.
AfterBuzz. Thanks,
We
Pat.
are so excited to be back in June. Tune into Dancing with the Stars, support Maria, and happy post-A Day.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.